wet, rainy, windy, cold November Tuesday. Heading down to K&H Motorsports to pick up a little something. Can't really tell you what it is right now because that's all part of the surprise. But definitely excited to be making this road trip. Got about another hour and maybe 30 minutes to go, maybe a little less. We'll see what traffic's like. But gonna have a little special treat for everybody. I think you're really gonna like it. I know I'm excited. Though it's still gonna be months away before anything really comes of it, because this particular toy is going right into storage. It's going to sleep nicely for many months because it will not be ridden until it is completely rebuilt for the purpose that it was meant for. So I don't care if it's 6 months or 7 months, it's going to be hard, but I've got the other toy to use, so we're just going to go with that and patiently do everything the right way the first time around and make it happen the way it should. So stay tuned, there'll be more to come.
Exit, then turn right onto State Route 281 toward Preble.
So time for the mock run. How it's going to fit on that thing. Corey! How is it going to fit? We're going to find out here in just a hot second. I don't know how this is going to work, but we're going to find out real quick. Not really sure how I feel about it. So, pop that out. Gonna have to pop off this rear bumper. Rear bumper is gonna have to come off, and the wheels may have to come off. But I don't know how they're gonna fit underneath. I don't think they will. Alright, so I was asked to kind of go through some of the things that I think are better about this machine that make it far more superior than previous models. I don't know much about the previous Scramblers, but the components are pretty much all the same. And by no means do I know anything about four-wheelers enough to really go into that kind of detail, but for the basic person, i.e. me, myself, I mean, just the suspension alone is complete nasty ass upgrade. You can see how power steering now, everything's really easy to get to. Not only that, power steering's all completely beefy as I can't swear because this is going to go on YouTube, but yeah, A-arms All the setups just like it would be on a Razor. Front diff, same thing. Now I have the Razor front diff. Beefier axles in the front. Same as in the rear. Not a huge fan of the exhaust, but that's gonna go away like real quick. So, and if you haven't seen, RJWC already has their exhaust being set up for this. So if you haven't checked that out, check out RJWC. No, they don't sponsor me, they don't promote me, they don't do anything like that. They don't pay me to say that. I just have them on my Sportsman, and I have them on there because I wanted them on there. I wanted them on there in the first place, but I didn't put them on there. Not going to go into details about that. It is what it is. I was talked out of it. I went with an HMF exhaust. Nothing with the HMF, it just wasn't what I wanted. So I should have went with what I wanted in the first place, but I didn't. Even the rear diff. God, I don't know. I didn't see anything about the rear diff being different, but it's definitely not the same rear diff that is in your Sportsman or Scrambler that I've seen previously in other models. This is going to be not much of a challenge. I mean, going to have to run the snorkel setup for going through the rear, but anybody that's just getting this stock, you're going to want to be careful what you're taking it through. Sway bars, that's going to be easy to take off. My God, the old setup, I took mine off the Sportsman. You got to take all the plastics off. You got to take everything off just to get that sway bar off. And I took them off, well, because when it comes down to mudding, I didn't need the sway bar. So the sway bar definitely came off and is what it is. As far as everything else, I mean, you do have the smaller wheels, 12-inch, but that will definitely be upgraded to a 14. As far as anything else, I mean, that's all going to come in time. But for right now, I mean, it is what it is. I wish I knew more about everything on here to actually give a real proper review, but I'm not a ATV mechanic. I know a lot of ATV mechanics. They're just not here right now while I'm doing this, so I can't really ask them to go through it with me. Starter looks like it's a little more beefier than the other ones, but again, I don't know. It might be. You tell me. Other than that, I'm just waiting for this thing to run out of fuel. Figure while I'm doing that, I'll do a little short video on this. Kind of walk through it a little bit and keep myself preoccupied while I wait. You do get a nice little Pro Armor LED light for the front. Makes that for your center light, which Scramblers don't have. But that's definitely going to be one thing to figure out. I definitely want a low profile radiator kit for this. So yeah, so like I said, definitely want a low profile radiator kit for this. Try to utilize the mounts here to set up that rad kit, as well as try to form it into the bumper as well. But keeping it low profile, keeping everything kind of sleek, low, having the snorkels come out, have a bracket set up here and have them kind of curve up in, keep them low profile as well, right along with the rad kit. For the Sportsman, the snorkels, I mean, they were up pretty high. We brought them down another 2 inches by changing the setup and the connections for the snorkels, which worked out great. But you still have the rad kit that is up in front here, where I'd like to have everything now kind of like down, leveled out. I mean, if you're looking at the design of this machine, it's just gonna go with the flow, the curves, the contours, like everything is gonna kind of match. And you want that with the rad kit as well. As far as cosmetics, I mean, always first and foremost is gonna be cosmetics, but one thing, my one and only complaint is, coming out with a brand new machine, the Sportsman got the new lights set up, but the Scrambler didn't. So hopefully can come out with something, kind of change them up, because really a nice set of HIDs would be really nice in that. It would just give that sleek, sexy, mean, I'm gonna kill you look to it. But we can work around it because there's so many other great things that they focused on. I mean, obviously, I guess to look at it, the least important thing to look at would be lights. They looked at all the other important things: suspension, arms, diffs. I know they put a bigger, stronger reverse chain in. It's one thing I do know. But as far as everything else, I mean, they truly came out, just from what I know about them, I mean, this may literally be the best ATV Polaris has ever produced that I can talk about. So I don't know, we'll see. So stay tuned. Like I said, there will be some videos coming out at a much later date, but either way, there she is. If you have any questions, I'll answer them the best that I can. Like I said, I'm not a mechanic. I don't get paid to put these videos out here. Polaris doesn't give me anything to do it. I'm doing this because I like doing it. So if you have any questions, just ask. And if I don't have the answer, then I'm sorry, but I'm sure somebody might. So I seriously wish she would hurry up and burn up whatever amount of fuel she has left in her, because it's been running quite a bit on idle. I'm trying to burn up that last bit because I can't ship it with any fuel in it. Any fluids of any sort, coolant, diff, you name it, anything that's a fluid has to come out of it. So that's what we're working on right now, and just waiting. Got the handlebars dismounted. Gonna get ready to finish up the last bit of the crate, get the tires off, the wheels off, set it on blocks, save some space, and get it all crated in within hopefully a fairly small area of space. So we'll get back to that here next. Quite the shit show getting this on the trailer. Jack, backing up, all sorts of ways to make it work. But you know what? It's just about ready, so that's all that matters. It's a snowy, shitty, blah November day. Oh shit. Things just got a little slippery right there. The roads are complete crap, and we're getting weather in November that, you know, we shouldn't be seeing until like December. I don't understand why we're getting it. It is what it is. Definitely goes against the whole global warming thing, but it is what it is. Live in the North Country, you kind of get used to crappy weather, which is kind of like the nature of living here, I guess. But on the way down to New Jersey, shipping out the 2020 Scrambler 1000S to go get heavily modified. One of those words. But getting that shipped out, it's going to be quite the friggin' haul. It's a 5.5 hour drive that I'm already 2 hours behind leaving for, and not to mention it's snowing, and it was supposed supposed to be 40 degrees and beautiful out. And then you wake up and, hey, it's snowing. So hopefully you get down there, get this dropped off, get it shipped out, and wait for the return. Wait for it to come back, and then really go to work and go to Pound Town on some videos. Definitely gonna have to go up and do some rips with the Canadian boys, show them how it's done on the Polaris. They're all Can-Am guys. Nothing against Can-Am. I mean, Can-Am is a great machine, but the whole rivalry thing between brands, that's what makes this all fun. We all bust on each other's balls and we have a good laugh about it. And at the end of the day, the majority of the time, we're running an 850, a 1000, whether it's Can-Am or Polaris. If you got the mechanicals done up right, like, for me, my buddy Derek from Sinister Quad Shop and Ryan from Fun Unlimited, they've both helped out a lot along the way to make my Sportsman 1000 into what it is today, to where I can ride in the mud that I want to ride in. And from there, it comes down to tires, really. I mean, 30-inch is really all you really want to run. A lot of guys are running 32s, but, the bigger the tire, the more aggressive the tire, the higher your chances are of breaking stuff that you don't necessarily want to break, and stuff that you're going to end up breaking even with 30s on. I mean, trust me, done it, been there. I mean, 2 front diffs, the rear diff, need to redo the seals on it. What else was there? No axles yet. I've been running the High Lifter DHT axles since the beginning, basically, that this rebuild was done. So you're talking a little over 2 years now. I've been running the High Lifter DHT axles. So I'm going to have to give High Lifter some serious credit there. Those axles have been holding up incredibly well. I mean, it's not exactly like I've been taking it easy on them. And by no means does High Lifter promote me or give me anything for this. And no offense against High Lifter, but the next set of axles that I'm going to end up purchasing are going to be Super ATVs, Rhino 2.0s. So, and Super ATV doesn't pay me or sponsor me or anything like that either. It's just a preference thing, and it's what I want to go with. So that's the beauty of it when you're not sponsored by anybody, or, well, not sponsored by anybody specific. There's nobody telling you what you can or can't run on your machine. I mean, I looked at Demon axles, but I gotta say, like, I've been super impressed with Super ATV. Weird. Super impressed with Super ATV. Say that 10 times fast. But I've had some conversations with the guys from Super ATV, and it's they're just, bam, they're on there, and it's with very little delay. I mean, and not only that, but they are, there's a lot of proof in the pudding where they are highly responsive to their market, in the sense of, I mean, if you are on Instagram and you pay attention to what's taking place on there, Super ATV is super active on Instagram, which is super smart, because Instagram is a super great marketing tool. I mean, it depends on your, location, your demographics, but I mean, when it comes down to somebody like Super ATV, at that point it doesn't matter. I mean, you are reaching out to everybody and anybody everywhere, and you have an online store, you have dealers all over the world selling your products. It's a win-win. I mean, and it's literally free. But going back to that, whoever it is on their end, whether it's one person or multiple people, male, female, black, white, I don't know. All I know is they are on spot. They're responsive to people's posts, comments. You know, it's just like, and that's huge. I mean, that says a lot. I mean, some people it might not say a lot, but to me, you know, being a business person, that says a lot. I mean, that's incredible. So either way, I'm going with Super ATV with the majority of everything else I'm going to be doing. We're also going to have some stuff coming in from JayParts, which is out of Austria. Going to have some stuff coming in from Maskin, which is out of Norway. And speaking of that, stay tuned, because coming March 17th to the 23rd, myself and Bill are going to be flying over to Norway to do a snowmobile trip over there with Andreas from Maskin, Robin from RJWC Exhaust, as well as a few other people. We'll just let that happen when the videos come out, but those are the primary people involved, and it should be a good trip. Definitely looking forward to it. We're going to fly into Oslo, and then from Oslo we're going to go over to Sweden to a camp there, and that's where we're going to be snowmobiling for a couple days. And then we're going to come back and we're going to do some ice drags in Norway, as well as a relaxed day, kind of to see the area. I mean, you're going to go overseas to some place like that. I mean, there's probably some pretty cool things to see, and yeah, I want to see some other things. I mean, I love the idea of going snowmobiling, and we're going to do some ATV riding too. But yeah, I'm super excited about that, because, I mean, who wouldn't be excited about that? You're going to friggin' Norway, and you're from the United States, and you're going to go snowmobiling. I mean, and we're going to go ride side-by-sides and four-wheelers, which, if anybody's paid attention to that, Andreas is also the owner of the Beast, which is his beautifully done 2017 Polaris Scrambler 1000 on portals. If you've seen the videos, it was on portals with 32-inch assassinators, and he is doing some pretty sick snow rips in it. So, yeah, so it should be good. Actually, another video we'd see him, a lot more of you have probably seen it on there, is Dave from Master Cruiser went over to Poland to go see RJWC, Robin, to see the factory, and then they all got together, a bunch of the guys from Northway ATV, Dimitri's one that I talked to mostly, Andreas, who has the Beast, and obviously Master Cruiser, and his wife, Robin. All those guys got together, so he's got the four-wheeler in that video too, which was pretty cool to see. So it's kind of neat. But yeah, so looking forward to that. You know, it's looking back to this whole YouTube thing. Kind of speechless, really, when it comes down to it. I mean, some of the stuff that I've done, the places that I've gone now, the people that I've met, the places that I'm still going to go to, that I've made, you know, plans for, places that I'm talking about going to with the guys that I went down to see in Louisiana and Texas. You know, Brandon from the Caucasian, Carlos in the Swamp Pass, Aldion Azurin, who does her channel. Yeah, Dilly. It's like I can go down through a boatload of people that I've met that do YouTube, where it's just kind of crazy, and it's kind of a community in a sense. I mean, you're already in a community because you're an ATV off-road rider, which is a community in itself, and now you're part of a totally another community on top of that community, which is part of people who do YouTube videos for ATV riding, off-roading. So that's a totally different family of people that you can correlate with and get, you know, in touch with, and, you know, plan some fun rides with. I mean, my geographic location has allowed me to do a bunch of fun rides up in Canada, which is really cool, because I've got to ride with quite a few, you know, people from Canada that also do YouTube and have really, you know, grown beyond growth with it. You got Louis, who does power mods. He's up towards Ottawa, which is 45 minutes for me. You have Keith and Job. Keith does NOS ATV, and Job does ATV. Job, I can't even actually remember where Job's from. But Keith, you know, those guys are like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours away. Kyle and Cass from Mainville, ATV Outdoors. They're like 2.5 hours away. Did a ride with them. Then you have Richard from Elemental ATV, Nick from Lyndhurst, XF Army. You know, just did a ride with those guys. That was a ton of fun. Got to meet another guy I've met before, but you know, didn't really get to meet him on a personal level, where we were just a small group of us riding together. Grant. So you know, that was cool to meet those guys and you know, experience that trip up in Canada. We went riding in Johnstown, which, if you remember the video where I went up and rode with Mainville ATV Outdoors, Jen and I went up to Johnstown, and I made it like 3/4 the way through, and then my throttle excuse me, that's better. My throttle gave out. Throttle by wire, not throttle by cable. It gave out because when I was down in Texas, the very last day, the very last 5 friggin' minutes that we were there, Carlos is like, "You want to keep riding?" We're like, "Yeah, we may as well. Like, one more trail, go back to camp, cook some food, relax, have a cold beer, and get everything packed up and ready to head out to Mudnats," which we were doing the very next day. So it was one of those things where it's like, shit. So in the process, we ended up stopping at Solitude Customs and seeing if we could get the repair done, because the throttle stopped working because it got water in it, bike cut out, and that was what it was. Shit. Oh wait, I gotta take it right. I know where I am. Never mind. So yeah, went to Solitude Customs, which is down in Texas, and tried to get a repair on it, but weren't able to end up getting it taken care of. Brought it back home, went to Derek's Sinister Quad Shop, and had the throttle all torn apart. Somehow the cover for that got misplaced, and all the wiring issues all figured out. Either way, water got into it, screwed, had to buy a whole new throttle assembly, which was $325 I didn't want to spend. There's a lot of money I've spent on shit that I shouldn't have spent money on, but it is what it is. Trust me, it's all well noted. Now, what to do, what not to do, what to try not to do, and how to do it, so hopefully you don't break anything again that you've already broken. So, lesson learned. So yeah, hopefully get down to Jersey here, like I said, and get this thing dropped off and shipped out so I can get back here as soon as possible, and get some videos of the fun that's about to come from it. So we'll see where it goes, and you know, we'll stay tuned, and we'll have another video coming up here shortly. So talk to you here soon. Holy crap! You want to talk about an insane trip? So now I got to figure out where I need to pull in here, because I have no freaking clue. Oh fuck. We might be in trouble. Not looking good. We'll be back here in just a second. Oh my god. That was definitely quite the experience. I can't say that I've done anything like this ever before, and I definitely need one of these. And no, I don't endorse, nor am I sponsored, or do I get any benefit off of you seeing this. I've been drinking this beer since I was in, well, I won't talk about that, but I've been drinking Blue Light for a long time. But yeah, so Andreas, everything is on its way to you to get superflied. I don't know. Can we use that word? Superflied. It's getting sent to you to be made awesome. So yeah, I'm going to drink this beer now. I'm glad this little project's out of the way, because this has been like a lot of extra time that I wasn't calculating to take on. Well worth it in the long run, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, so stay tuned. So now it's a waiting game. You're not going to see anything else from this for a while. It's going to be exciting when it finally does come about, but patience is key. For now, BC is going to be the flagship for a while. No, BC is always going to be the flagship. I mean, she's like the first. She's what got this all started, so we have to stick with her. And she's going to be around forever. She's not going anywhere. No matter how many people tell me to sell it or have asked to buy it, it's never going to be for sale. And as long as I'm living, it'll always be in my possession. So that's the nice thing. It's paid for, free and clear. I mean, I saved up for that four-wheeler, so I paid for it in cash, and nobody owns it but me. So yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna finish this beer, and I'm gonna go do some paperwork now, because I got to do paperwork for my work day tomorrow. Start that day at 7, and definitely going to relax tomorrow night. That is definitely for sure. So stay tuned. Keep you posted on the little tidbits that I can. Essentially keep teasing you until the day comes that you get to see the full shit and shebang, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching, and be talking soon.